With only a couple of matches remaining in the qualifications, teams are wanting to score as many points as possible and try to work their way up in that last possible seconds. 29.90, unfortunately, looks like they are not moving, potentially hit the A stop. Looks like the same may have been done for Pyobytes. Both Error Code 0 and Control C have made pretty quick work of the top of the Blue Reef, though, having matched with 4 total pieces of Coral. Red Alliance having it done the same. To be determined making that 5. Cert looking like they want to make it 6, lining up for a second, but it looks like that piece of Coral falls to the floor. To be determined returns very quickly with another piece of Coral in hand. Blue side of the field, Pyobytes trying to get a piece of algae into the processor, and it just bounces out. They're going to go back and try again with that same piece, and it does stick this time and roll through the sensor. Control C, elevator up, and it's good on the 4th level of that blue side of the field. And they return back to the human player station, grabbing another piece of Coral and returning it back to the reef. Error Code 0, elevator up, arm over, and very good, very fast. Red Barge, there is 1 piece of algae that was thrown up by the Red Alliance human player. Will any more algae be added throughout the rest of this match? 25-21, Cert pulling a piece of algae off of the reef with the piece of Coral and returning back to the reef to place that piece of Coral on the 3rd level. To be determined, piece of Coral just slipping out of their intake from the human player station and falling to the floor, but they quickly figure themselves back out, get a new piece of Coral, and return back to the reef. And a little bit of a collision between To Be Determined and Hotwire on the red side of the field, but they also sort themselves out pretty quickly. Pyobytes coming over to the red side of the field, potentially maybe some defense, maybe trying to get that cooperation by scoring over on the other side. But instead, they decide to come back over to the Blue Alliance and score in the Blue Alliance processor. It goes in, it's good. Just under 30 seconds left in this match. It is a very close match, 109 to 104 in favor of that Red Alliance at the moment. But Blue Alliance is going to try to turn that around with some quick climbs here. Error Code 0 with a very consistent climb that we've seen in this competition. However, it does seem to miss. They're going to have to try again if they possibly can. Red Alliance, will any of them go for the climb? It looks like To Be Determined does not have connectivity, but they do regain control of their robot right at the end of the match. They all move into the parking zone at the last possible second. Preliminary scores 123 to 115 in favor of that Red Alliance. We'll get you your final scores in a moment. Let's take a look at those scores from qualification 28. And it's the Red Alliance that takes the victory. 129 to 119, a very close match decided by only a couple of points. 4 ranking points being taken home by that Red Alliance. 102 being scored for Coral versus the 82 on the Blue Alliance, a big contributing factor to the difference.